ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। PDF page number 42. Gita Press page number 38. Okay, and let us chant. Who is next? Okay, let us chant mantra. Ishtaपूर्तं मन्यमाना वरिष्ठम्
इष्टापूर्तं मन्यमाना वरिष्ठं
नान्यच्छ्रेयो वेदयन्ते प्रमूढाः
नान्यच्छ्रेयो वेदयन्ते प्रमूढाः
नाकस्य पृष्ठे ते सुकृतेनुभूत्वा
नाकस्य पृष्ठे ते सुकृतेनुभूत्वा
इमं लोकं हीनतरं वा विशन्ति।
इमं लोकां हीनतरं वा विशन्ति।
भाष्यम् इष्टं
इष्टं
यागादिश्रौतं कर्म
यागादिश्रौतं कर्म
पूर्तं
पूर्तं
वापि कूपतडागादि
वापि कूपतडागादि
स्मार्तं मन्यमानाः
स्मार्तं मन्यमानाः
एतदेव
एतदेव
अतिशयेन
अतिशयेन
पुरुषार्थसाधनम्
पुरुषार्थसाधनं
वरिष्ठम्
वरिष्ठं
प्रधानम् इति
प्रधानम् इति
चिन्तयन्तः.
चिन्तयन्तः।
Okay, we'll pause with that. So this is the 10th mantra in this what is called Mundaka. There are 3 Mundakas in Mundakopanishad, and each Mundaka has 2 khandas. So 3 times 2. Like in somewhat like in Kathopanishad, we had 2 adhyayas. Each adhyaya had 3 vallis. So each Mundaka, each Upanishad has its own unique way of referring to itself. And so, three Mundakas with two Khandas each. We are in 1.2. So, this 10th mantra also talking about karma, Vaidika karma. Vedic culture, we are getting an insight to Vedic culture through studying the Upanishad. Until now, we didn't know much. We knew what we were practicing. Beyond that, we don't know. But the study of the Upanishad begins to give us some insights how our rishis were thinking, what kind of life they used to lead, like that. That is how I am seeing it. So here in this mantra, the key word here is Ishtapurtam. Just like Panchamaha Yajna is there, we used to talk a lot about that. So Bhuta Yajna, I mean Pitru Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, and then Manusha Yajna, Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. This is Panchamaha Yajna. If somebody says what is a Vedic lifestyle, today this is all we can say. Pitru Yajna means thanking our ancestors, because of whom our family is there, we are there. That is first step. Pitru. Pitru means our own ancestors, direct ancestors. Then Manusha Yajna, people who need help, I have to help. Manusha Yajna. Then Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means other than people, living beings on earth, plants, animals, ityadi. Bhuta Yajna. Then Deva Yajna, ecology, the entire scheme of things. Planetary motion, everything is working the way, working properly so that I can live properly. So, ecology. Deva Yajna. Deva is a word for that, right? Varuna Devata, rains have to come in proper time. So whatever I can do to invoke them and worship them. And finally, you have Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna, that which tells us about Panchamahayajna is Veda only. So therefore, I have to protect the Veda by studying the Veda and if possible teaching it also. This is Panchamahayajna. Anybody says what is Vedic life, this is the best to say, because we don't know much about karma and all. We don't know much. We're doing a little bit of karma, but Vedika karma we follow in certain situations, but we have not studied it. Here, Ishtapurtam, that is another way, an alternative to Panchamahayajna. Okay, we saw this word Ishtam last time. Okay, Ishtam. So we said last time, what did we say? Agnihotram tapah karma Vedanam chanupalanam Athityam Vaishvadevancha Ishtamit Correct? Everybody got that last time, correct? Yeah, everybody got it. So, Agnihotram means all the Vaidika karma that Grihasthas have to do. Tapaha, a disciplined life. Satyam, taking one among all the disciplines, Satyam. Satyam is very important. Commitment to Satyam. I say what I think, I do what I say. So, Arjavam. So it's connected. So that way there is no dissonance. Society runs smoothly. Satyam. Vedanam chanupalam. Protecting the Vedas. Atityam. Manusha Yajna. Look at that. Vaishvadevam cha. Vaishvadevam. So this Deva Yajna that was part of the Panchamahayajna. Ishtamiti abhidiyate. This is called Ishtam. That is the definition of Ishtam in this context. Ishtam, not what is desirable is also Ishtam, but that is not the word here. Here, Ish comes from Yaj Dhatu. Yaj, Yajane, Yajna, all that derives from the word Dhatu Yaj. Yaj to perform, to invoke. That is the meaning of Yaj, Ishta here. This much we studied last time. Now we have to look into the word Purtam. 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 So I sent that mantra, the shloka to you on WhatsApp. Vapi Kupa Tadagadi. Has everybody written it down? Raise your hand if you have written it down. Okay. Okay. So those who are a bit not watching WhatsApp, write this down. Vapi Kupa Tadagadi. And if you miss a few letters, that's fine. You can go back to WhatsApp and write it down. Vapi Kupa Tadagadi. Okay. Devatayatanani cha.
Kupa, is it?
Devatayatanani cha.
Kupa or
Kupa. Correct. So I do send messages on WhatsApp periodically. And so nothing wrong in watching WhatsApp. Vapi Kupa Tadagadi Devatayatanani cha. Annapradanam. Annapradanam. Aramaha. Annapradanam Aramaha. Purtam ityabhidhiyate. Just like Ishtam ityabhidhiyate, here you have Purtam iti abhidhiyate. So I'll explain that now. So as I explain also, you can write down. So Purtam iti abhidhiyate. This thing is called as Purta Karma. Purta Karma. Ishta Karma, Purta Karma. What is Purta Karma? All the religious activities went off in the Ishta Karma. Now the so-called, can't say non-religious also, because look at this. Vapi, Kupa, Tadaga. These are all various water bodies. Kupa means well. Vapi is a lake. Tadaga is also a lake. Okay, Vapi is a stream. So riverfront management, well management, groundwater management, all that is called Vapi, Kupa, Tadaga, etc. Whatever you have to do, rainwater harvesting, you have to do it. Okay, our country was great in that. And so Vapi, Kupa, Tadaga was great. Everything we have to say was great only, We are trying to become great. So Vapi, Kupa, Tadagadi. Devata Yatananicha. Devata Ayatanam. Ayatanam means where you can go and see God. It's temple. Mandiranicha. People need all this. For survival, you need all these things. Even for us, Bhagavan is needed. Therefore, Mandiranicha. Devata Yatananicha. Constructing all these things. Society has to check. Either the king has to do it, and king also can't do it without the help of people. And so therefore, government plus people, Devatayatananicha. Annapradhanam, Annadanam. Society always needs Annadanam. Some people, they will always need Annadanam in society. So food must be available for anybody to eat. Nobody should go hungry. That is what Veda is saying. Annapradhanam. You give them a job or you give them food to eat, do something. Find a way out. Find a way out that people are not hungry. That's all. Annapradhanam Aramaha. Aramaha. Those days they used to say choultry and all. My father used to say choultry. I didn't know what a choultry was. Choultry means the place where you can stay. People are traveling. They are walking around, whatever they're traveling, go by bus, whatever. They come suddenly because they want to go see temples. Guy in the north wants to see temples in the south. He'll just come. That's it. Then what? You have to give them place for them to stay. So all these hotels and all that. That is called Aramaha. Free. With food, everything should be there. Only then they can do all this. Tirtha Yatra can be done properly. These days, everybody doesn't need it, but those who need it should be given those facilities. Annapradhanam Aramaha Purtamityabhidiyate. This is the definition of the Purta Karma. So roughly you can say Purta Karma is society oriented karma, society and ecology oriented karma. Ishta Karma is my religious karma. All the Panchamahayajna, all the religious part of the Panchamahayajna is there. That is Ishta Karma. Okay, I think you got it now. All right, this is the background. So, nice, beautiful way, is it not? Ishtapurtam, periodically, Shankara will say it in his Bhaashyam, and then we should recall these two shlokas. All right, Ishtapurtam. So that's what he's saying. Ishtam is yagadi shrautam karma. Yagadi shrautam karma. Shrauta karma. Shrautam means shruti janyam karma. The karma that is told by Shruti, told by the Vedas to do. This Agnihotram, Tapas, Satyam, etc. That is called Ishtapurtam. I mean, Ishtam karma. Then, comma, Purtam. Purtam is, as we have defined, Vapi, Kupa, Tadagadi, Smartam karma, he is saying. It is Smartam karma. It is not told by the Veda, it is told by Smriti. Shruti, Smriti, Purananam. Shruti is one category of Grantha for us. Another is Smriti. Smriti is written by rishis of those particular times. Based on the Shruti, of course, but based on changing time. Times are a changing, they say. Times are a changing means for each society at a particular time, they need their advice cannot be, they can't follow advice that 1,000 years ago people followed. No, you can't do that. Because the times are changing. You can't say forest and greenery and this and that. Where there's no greenery, what will you do? Things have to change. Go in a river and do this means what? Where is the river? So population explosion. So that is why smartam. Smartam is smart. Smriti is that text which is adapted to the current time. That is called Smriti. So like that we have. So Yajnavalkya Smriti, Parashara Smriti, like this we have many types of Smritis. Depending on the Veda that we belong to, we have followed different types of Smritis. Your Purohit will know all these things. Ritvik will know these things. Anyway, smart. That is the meaning of smartam. Smriti, Shruti, Smriti. Shruti is Veda. Smriti is anything outside the Veda, but based on the Veda. That is called smartam karma. Ishtapurtam, having defined that. Why are you talking about Ishtam and Purtam? Then again, criticizing people who are devoted only to karma. This karma is so important, correct? Ishtam and Purtam sustain society. Ishtam sustains the family individually, and Purtam sustains society. You can say nice model for society's existence, growth, prosperity. But here, Varishtam Pradhanam iti Chintayantaha. This is all there is to life. Like that, people who think are being criticized in this mantra. Means moksha. This will give me moksha. This is all there is means what? People know that there is something called moksha because Purushartham is there. Moksham, everybody knows that that is going to be our goal. But this is all there is. This is what is going to give me moksha. Varishtam, Pradhanam, significant, primary, iti chintayantaha. Like that, those people who are thinking, okay, I do a lot of charity, so I don't have to be religious. And spiritual also, you're all spiritual people, my God, spiritual people. I don't have to do all these things. For me, all the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, not for me. Why? Because I'm a philanthropist. That kind of people are all criticized here. And even a philanthropist has to sit in front of Swamiji and listen to all these things. And so, iti pradhanamiti chintayantaha. So, manyamanaha. Etadeva atishayena purushartha sadhanam. Purushartha sadhanam. Purushartha. What is Purushartha? Purushaihi achyate iti Purushartha. That which is sought after by Purushas, by people, Manusyas, is called Purushartha. universally dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is purusharthas. And purushartha sadhanam. To accomplish the purushartha, there are means. Means to gain security, means to gain pleasure, etc. And so, moksha sadhanam. So here, etadeva atishayena. This is it. This is the unsurpassed means. Atishayana means what? What do you translate all these things? Atishayana, incomparable, unsurpassed means there is nothing greater than this. In a way, it is true. Within the realm of karma, there is nothing greater than that. Correct. If you do this Ishta and Purtam, that's it. Society will prosper. But society will prosper, then it will also suffer because moksha is not clear. If a society for which moksha is not clear will eventually suffer. Think about it. Think about it. So, who's carried away? Society carried away by artha and kama and punyam. Punyam is what? Artha and kama for the future, I want to secure my future. Therefore, I need to do punyam. I need to do charity, So, that society will still going to be suffer at some point because clarity won't be there. Somebody who says, what is the purpose of life? Is this all the purpose of life? If somebody asks, there won't be an answer to that question. Therefore, the society will still be aimless. That is why etad eva atishayena purushartha sadhanam. People who think etad eva, this alone is the greatest purushartha sadhanam. There is nothing greater than this. Manyamanaha, thinking like that. Chintayantaha. Chintayantaha should go along with manyamanaha. Manyamanaha. Man dhatu, mind, manye, thinking. So here also chintayantaha. Chintanam also is thinking. So those two go together. All right. So far, so good, I hope. All right. We have to read the next part of the Bhaashyam. So those people who think like this, right? Think that Ishtapurtam is the be all end all. Then what? Next. So after Satish, who is next? Sundari Venkatraman.
No, they take
Golden
G as my reference, not S.
Oh, G as the reference. Okay. Shreyas
श्रेयस्साधनम्
na vedayante
न वेदयन्ते
na jananti
न जानन्ति
pramodhaha
प्रमूढाः
putra pashu bandhvadishu
पुत्रपशुबन्धवादिषु
pramattataya
प्रमत्ततया
mudhaha.
मूढाः.
Yeah. So understand that we are studying Upanishad. So Upanishad, because Jnana Pradhana Grantaha, it is criticizing karma. So we have to be mature enough to understand that karma has a role in our lives. So when Upanishad is criticizing karma, it doesn't mean you drop all karma right now and walk away. No, that's not correct. Karma's limitations have to be understood. That is what Upanishad is saying. Because who is the guy who is studying Upanishad? Here I don't know in this Upanishad, but in Kathopanishad, Shankaracharya explains the meaning of the word Upanishad itself and says that Upanishad, the guy who comes, the text, this is the text to whom the guy who is dispassionate and has Atmanatma Viveka, who is now interested in knowing what is Atma. And that guy has Viraktaha. What is Viragaha? Viragaha means Ihamutra Palabhoga Viragaha. The guy who has figured out that all these things that I am accomplishing right now really, finally, it is not, it is meaningless. It is okay for survival, but beyond survival, it won't take me anywhere. Correct? That guy, that guy is mature person. Survival is different. Survival, everybody is surviving, everybody has to survive. Artha, Kama, Dharma. But beyond that, it won't take me anywhere. That guy, Upanishad is meant for that person, correct? Therefore, when that person hears these mantras, then that mantra validates the person's thinking. Validates means what? Yes, finally, Upanishad is telling what I suspected all along. Look at that. That is how the pursuit of Upanishad study keeps on building up for us, for all of us. We're all in the same boat. So, here, look at this. Anyad Atmajnanakyam Shreyaha Shreyas Sadhanam Na Vedayante Na Jananti. They don't know anything other than this. Other than this Ishtapurtam, they don't know. So, Anyat means what? Shankaracharya is telling. Atmajnanakyam. Namely, Akhyam means namely. Namely, Atmajnanam. That such a thing is called Atmajnanam, which is Shreyas Sadhanam. Hey, that Atmajnanam is Shreyas. When we name our children Shreyas, that is really what we mean. We are not talking Artha, Kama, Dharma. Okay? We don't name our children Artha. Kama also we may not name our children. Dharma we may. But moksha, yes. Every word finally means moksha, connected to moksha. So Shreyas. So that Shreyas, Shankaracharya says Shreyas Sadhanam. Shreyas or means of Shreyas. There is no other means for moksha. Na Vedayante. They don't know any other means for moksha. They also want moksha. They are not saying I don't want moksha. They also want moksha. Because moksha is fundamentally understood as the final pursuit. Okay, the most important pursuit in our life. So they know it, but they think Ishtapurtam is the Atishayena Sadhanam, Moksha Sadhanam. Na Vedayante, na Jananti. Jananti. They don't know. They do not know anything else. Bhagavad Gita. We can recall some shlokas from Bhagavad Gita also. 433, 4th chapter. Shreyan Dravyamayad Yajnat Jnana Yajnah Parantapa. So there in that chapter, Sri Krishna is listing a lot of different yajnas, including pranayama also is talking as a yajna. Pranayama can be done as a yajna. How is it a yajna? Yajna means offering. What am I offering in pranayama? I'm offering nothing. No, don't say that. You're offering the inhalation into that particular yajna, the respiration yajna. You're offering inhalation. Then what? I'm offering the exhalation into that same yajna. Then I'm offering inhalation. Then I'm offering exhalation. Think like that. Like that, Krishna gave a clue. Look at every activity I do as a yajna. Like that. Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. That also he had said. He said what? Hey, look at everything as yajna. If you don't look at it as a yajna, then it will become binding. Karma binds. The rule is activity will bind a human being. That is the rule. Will bind. And therefore, if you don't want activity to bind, you have to look at it as a yajna, part of the whole. I am contributing to the whole. That is the vision. Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So he said, among all these yajnas, jnana yajna is Shreyas. Shreyan Dravyamayad Yajnat. 433. Jnana Yajna is the superior. Why? Because that is what will take me to moksha. That's why it is superior. And of course, 438. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate. Pavitram, nothing more sacred than knowledge. Like that he had said there. Anyway, all that is there, and Kathopanishad also. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha. If you want to make a note, 1.2.2. Yama is introducing Shreyas and Preyas to Nachiketa, that boy, young boy, who's already somehow figured out. But somehow figured out is not enough. You got to solidify that into proper understanding, validated by the Shastram. Once Shastram validates it, then the person has unshakable knowledge. And so, Shreyascha Preyascha. We don't name our children Preyas, Shreyas. Sometimes I worry. I worry sometimes when children are named by these modern parents. They feel that they should be cute, 2 syllables, and they take Shreyas and then suddenly they put Preyas and all. Cute, no? You have to change the letters and all. It has to be new. All these old Shreyas and all old names. Very boring it is, right? If they think like that, I don't know what to do. And so hopefully they will do these kinds of things. So Pramudaha putra pashu bandhvadishu pramattataya mudaha. Pramudaha is the word in the moolam, in the mantra. Shankaracharya is explaining. There is so many ways to explain this. Prakarshena mudaha. They are confused. They are confused about the goals of life. That is what he wants to say. And he's saying, Putra pashu bandhvadishu pramattataya. They are thinking that children, pashus, animals you can, those days animals used to be part of the family, and animals was the workhorse. And so cows gave milk, cows took, did the agricultural work. Cows used to means of transportation. That's why pashu. So now you put all your other assets, right? Hard and soft assets. Putra pashu, bandhvadishu. Relationships so important. Relatives so important. Friends so important. And our whole network is there. We don't realize it, but it is all sustaining us. The relationships are sustaining us. Putra pashu bandhvadishu pramattataya. Pramattataya means committed to all these things. Mudaha. They are fools. They are fools not because they are depending on putra pashu. They think that is the be all end all. That is why they are mudaha. Mudaha means deluded people. Deluded. And they will delude others also in the process. Therefore, pramodaha. So, putra pashu, bandhu bandhu, adi and all is there. Adi means fill up the blanks. Anything else that you have to add into this, you can add. Vacations, something else, life insurance, everything can be added. So, putra pashu, this is the be all. Pramattam, pramattataya. Apramatta means indifferent. Pramatta means opposite of indifferent. Means what? Completely connected to, committed to. Okay. Shastram uses the word apramatta somewhere else. Anyway, that is different. So pramattataya means committed to all these things. That person is a mudaha. Which is interesting. Putra pashu bandhvadishu. Where did you see putra pashu and all? Putradara. Asaktirana bhishvangaha. Putradara grihadishu. Look at that. 13th chapter. Kshetrajna vibhaga yoga. There he is listing values. Amanitvam, adambitvam. All the values that we must have. One of the values what? Asaktihi anabhishvangaha putradara grihadishu. He says, with all these children and all this family, putra, wife, dara means wife, husband, grihadishu, house, so many things are there. That's a big thing for every person. In those things, asaktihi, anabhishvangaha, he says. Anabhishvangaha means don't be sticky. Let them not stick to you. Let them be there, but maintain a distance from all these things. Maintain a distance. Because they're all there for a purpose. And are you achieving the purpose or not? Did you know it or not? Or are you just stuck and lost in all these things? That is the question he's asking. So, anabhishwangaha, asaktihi. Here it is all saktihi. Pramattataya is sakti. Sangha is there. There asakti is talking about. Hey, be asanga to all these things. Be not indifferent. Have a sense of aloofness with all these things. Be happy with what you have. At the same time, acknowledge that I am fundamentally something that is not dependent on these things. Use what I have for my own chitta shuddhi. All that we can read into this. Putra pashu bandhuadishu pramattataya. All right. Next sentence. All right. Next sentence. Te cha
ते च
nakasya
नाकस्य
स्वर्गस्य पृष्ठे
स्वर्गस्य पृष्ठे
उपरि स्थाने
उपरि स्थाने
सुकृते
सुकृते
भोगायतने
भोगायतने
अनुभूत्वा
अनुभूत्वा
अनुभूय
अनुभूय
कर्मफलं
कर्मफलं
पुनः इमं लोकं
पुनः इमं लोकं
मानुषम्
मानुषम्
अस्मात् हीनतरं वा
अस्माद् हीनतरं वा
तिर्यङ्ग नरकादि लक्षणम्
तिर्यङ्ग नरकादिलक्षणं
यथा कर्मशेषम्
यथा कर्मशेषं
विशन्ति.
विशन्ति।
Good.
धन्यवादः।
So Bhagavan Bhashyakara is commenting on the second half of the mantra. Nakasya prishte te sukrutenu bhutva imam lokam heenataram va vishanti. So as we study the Bhaashyam, we can go along with the Moolam. So he's saying, Techa नाकस्य स्वर्गस्य पृष्ठे उपरि स्थाने सुकृते भोगायतने अनुभूत्वा अनुभूय. All right. The verb here is anubhutva. Verb. That's a verb. Anubhutva. All Sanskrit students know very well that anubhutva is a wrong word. A grammatically incorrect word. Correct? Why? Because bhutva is correct. When bhudatu is prefixed by something, there's a prefix, then
Yes, sir.
you can't use twanta, you have to use lyabanta. So Shankaracharya is saying anubhuya, having experienced. Having experienced. So if you know a little bit of Sanskrit, we can enjoy these things. But if you don't know Sanskrit, don't worry. Nothing is lost because I'm explaining everything. Okay? All this, oh, I should have studied Sanskrit when I was in school. They offered this option. I gave it up. So guilt, another guilt will come. No. No guilt and all that. This class, I'm I'm not here to make all of you feel guilty and all that. Just enjoy life. So anubhutva means anubhuya, having experienced. Having experienced what? Karma phalam, he says. Okay, what kind of karma phalam? Okay, everybody is experiencing karma phalam. Here, very interesting. Swargasya prishte, nakaha. Let's first look at the word naka. Nakasya swargasya, he says. Come, just come. Just the letter ka. Come means sukham. Come means what? Sukham. Joy, pleasure. Come. Akam means opposite of sukham, asukham. What is asukam? Asukam is dukkam. So once again, kam is sukam, akam is dukkam. Akam is dukkam. Nakam, na akam. Opposite of dukkam. What is opposite of dukkam? Sukam. You should not laugh like that. You should just enjoy all these things. Kam is sukam, akam is dukkam, na akam is na dukkam is sukam. Back to sukam, back to kam. Good. At least mathematically and all that, it's agreeing. So nakam is sukam, and because of the way it is done, and it is finally purified, it's like distilled sukam. It is not mishra, sukam with some dukkam and all. It is just pure sukam. And so that is called swargaha. Nakaha means swargaha. Swargaha. Swargaha means pradana. Bhoga pradana kshetra it is. It's a pure sukha pradana kshetra. And so that is why that naka word is used. And I think you all would have heard the word nakam before also. गोभिर्जुष्टमयजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इह मादयन्तम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात्. So example, Durga Suktam is there. So people chant all these things. So nakasya prishte, there nakasya prishtam there also. The prishtam is what? Let's see what Shankaracharya says. Uparisthane. Uparisthane. Located above. Located above. Because this earth, this particular Martya Lokam it is called, it's always a combination of Sukham and Dukkham. Even the happiest person will end up feeling sad due to some illness is there, Illness is enough to make us feel sad. And so there's always mixture, constant mixture is there. But they say Swargam is not like that. The more higher up you go, the less and less Dukkham will be there. And so, Uparisthane. heights of Swarga. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. So many lokas are there. So many. The gradation of this Taratamyam we call in Sanskrit. Taratamyam of Sukha is there. And so, after enjoying Anubhuya, after enjoying all this Swarga Sukham, okay. Sukrite. What is Sukrite? Bhogayatane. Hey, Swarga, which is defined very well as the abode of Bhoga. It is pure Bhoga Shariram. So there, because the Punyam has to be experienced, so much Punyam the person has gained that you have to experience it. And therefore, they are all Bhoga Ayatanam. They are all abodes of enjoyment. Suppose you have to enjoy here also. On earth, you have to enjoy means what? Some Punyam is there. It has to be exhausted. You have to go on a cruise. You can't stop it. Your karma palam will take you on a cruise. Yes, total enjoyment it is. Cruise means you won't have time for anything. Even cell phone will not be there because the signal won't be there anyway. So therefore, no cell phone also. Pure enjoyment. I will go on a cruise and find this out. So that karma palam will take you on a cruise. And you say, I chose to go on a cruise and all. No. You chose to go on a cruise. But that force is there. And so here also, karma palam bhoga yatane. And the person is forced to spend some time in Swarga. Punaha. Once again, then what happens after all this holiday is over? It's called a holiday. Why is it called a holiday? Because it's finite, That's why we call it a holiday. Vacation means what? It is a temporary reprieve. It's a reprieve from the daily grind, as some people say. That's why it's called vacation. That's why it's called a holiday. And so punaha, once again, imam lokam, manusham, Shankaracharya says, manusham, manushya. This human This world where we are familiar, this familiar world of where human beings thrive, survive. Okay, Manusham. Asmat Heenataram va. Heenataram means worse than this Manushya Loka also. Worse means just like Swarga was superior, Atishayena, and more enjoyment. Like that, there are other worlds also. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. Like that, there is so many gradation underneath also. Asmat Heenataram va. Manushya Lokat. Asmat means compared to this. This means what? Manushya Lokat. Asmat means what? Manushya Lokat. This, referring to that this particular world that we live in. Asmat Heenataram va. Heenataram. Worse than that. Worse than that means what? Can you explain to me? Yeah. Tiryang Narakadi Lakshanam. Tiryang. Tiryang. Tiryang means animal world. Tiryang. Either in this world, animal life, or in a more inferior world, human life. Whichever way you want, you can look at it. He's saying, Tiryang Narakadi Lakshanam. Yatha Karma Shesham Vishanti. This is all random. God is punishing me. Is that what you're telling me? No God is involved anywhere here. In our Advaita Vedanta, God is simply, the entire law is Ishvara. The order is Ishvara, Bhagavan. No God is punishing anybody. I am being punished by my own karma. Yatha karma shesham. That's it. Shesham means remaining. What is remaining? Hey, after this human body is exhausted, whatever, because I am exhausting karma even now. And so, karma shesham, what is remaining after that is called karma shesham. Chanchita karma is there, infinite karma is there, and then remaining. Yatha karma shesham means what? Decided by the remaining karma. Not decided by God. Karma is Ishvara for us. God is karma. No, we don't say that. Karma is Ishvara. Look at that. That law is Ishvara, God for us. God did not create the laws. Even though we say God created the laws, you can say, but God is not separate from the laws. And so for us, Bhagavan is visible right here and now. Why? Because everything is operating. The trees are growing. When I see the trees growing, I see Bhagavan right in front of me. My life is also moving in predictable ways, unpredictable ways. That is all Ishvara only. Everything is Ishvara. So therefore, Yatha Karma Shesham. God is not putting me to hell and all that. No God involved here. Ishvara Karma. That karma is Ishvara. Yatha Karma Shesham. That is why Ishvara is called Karma Phaladata. Pakka. Vishanti. Imam Lokam Heenataram va Vishanti. They enter these kinds of worlds. Who enter these kinds of world? Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtam nanyachreyo vedayante pramudha. That is the subject. Those people who are deluded, they enter these kinds of worlds. So Yatha Karma Shesha. That took me to Kathopanishad. Anybody remembers what that is? So there, you can make a note, 2.2.7 Kathopanishad. So there he says, Sthanumanyenu Sayanti Yatha Karma Yatha Shrutam. Yatha Karma. He uses the word Yatha Karma and Yatha Shrutam. Like that he says. Yama tells Nachiketa. Yatha Karma means according to the law of karma. According to what you have done. That's all it is. It's all it is, that nobody else is involved in my life. Really speaking, I am involved in my life. Yatha Karma Yatha Shrutam. Shrutam means karma and upasanam. Like that, there he says. Upasana means dhyanam. Dhyanam is also a type of karma, an important type of karma. So there he says that. So that concludes the description of this mantra. So what is the essence? Essence again is they're all good people. Pushta Purta Karminaha are good, nice people. They know what makes a society prosperous. They do the right thing. But doing the right thing is not enough. That is not moksha. It'll give a lot of punyam, and that punyam also has to be exhausted. And after exhausting, I'll come back to the same life and I'll continue to be doing the same thing. That fact they don't understand. That is the purpose of this mantra. So the ninda, it's a ninda of those kinds of people who think like that. All right. Let's do the Anvaya here. Ishta Purtam Eva Ishtapurtam eva varishtham varishtham within brackets purushartha sadhanam iti purushartha sadhanam iti Ishtapurtameva varishtham purushartha sadhanam iti manyamanaha pramudhaha. Full stop. You can put a full stop here. That's good. You can even bring pramudaha in the beginning. Pramudaha ishtapurtameva varishtham purushartha sadhanam iti manyamanaha. Full stop. Then anyat, you can put te in front. Te within brackets. Anyat atmajnanakyam. Te anyat atmajnanakyam. Shankara's word. Shreyaha na veda.
One te in the second line. There is one te in the second line. That has another use, or that te we can bring here.
Yeah, you can bring te here also. We can start talking about them only. So you can say te anyat atmajnanakyam shreyaha na vedayante. Because we are splitting the line, we are bringing te again. Once again, te anyat atmajnanakyam shreyaha na vedayante. Full stop. Te and atmajnanakyam within brackets. Next sentence. Nakasya swargasya within brackets. Nakasya swargasya पृष्ठे उपरि स्थाने पृष्ठे उपरि स्थाने सुकृते भोग within brackets भोगायतने कर्मफलम सुकृते भोगायतने कर्मफलम. Okay, अनुभूत्वा within brackets अनुभूय नाकस्य स्वर्गस्य पृष्ठे उपरि स्थाने सुकृते भोगायतने कर्मफलम अनुभूत्वा अनुभूय. It appears like we are writing the entire Bhaashyam. But that's okay. That's okay. It's meant for what? Understanding, right? So anywhere you don't understand, you bring in some words. Anubhuya, comma, te imam manusham within brackets. Lokam. Te imam manusham lokam. Next, asmat heenataram lokam va. अस्मात् हीनतरं लोकं va. Asmat in brackets, lokam in brackets. Asmat heenataram lokam va vishanti. Vishanti. Vish means to enter. Pravesh, pravesha. Pravesh करते हैं. So vish va vishanti. Full stop. So let me read this. Ishtapu. प्रमोडाः इष्टापूर्तमेव वरिष्ठं पुरुषार्थसाधनम् इति मन्यमानाः santi. If you want, you can add full stop. मन्यमानाः santi. Next sentence. अन्यत् अर्थे अन्यत् आत्मज्ञानाख्यं श्रेयः न वेदयन्ते. Full stop. Next sentence. नाकस्य स्वर्गस्य पृष्ठे उपरि स्थाने सुकृते भोगायतने कर्मफलम् अनुभूत्वा अनुभूय ते इमं मानुषं लोकम् अस्मात् हीनतरं लोकं वा विशन्ति. Full stop. Okay.
In Heenataram, we can add the Tiryang Lakshanadipuram.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. The words are being added for our own comprehension. So please, that's why I keep on saying, you do your Anvaya. This is my Anvaya. Now what about you? So do that.
Yeah, Kumarji.
Yeah.
What was the word before Anubhuya?
Anubhutva. Anubhutva is the word in the Moolam. Keep looking at the Moolam periodically. So Anubhutva is what Upanishad says. Shankaracharya says Anubhuya. Why? Because the word Anubhutva is technically not a correct Sanskrit word. It has to be Anubhuya, he says. Anything else? Shanti.
Guruji, Kshine Punye Martilokam Vishanti.
That's it.
Kshine Punye Martilokam Vishanti. Yeah, we should quote that. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. Kshine Punye Martilokam Vishanti. Exactly, same thing. Krishna's sloka. Which number is that? Te tam bhuktva. Look at that. Bhuktva anubhuya. Same thing. Having experienced. Te means what? Those people. Tam bhuktva. Swargalokam vishalam. Vishalam swargalokam bhut anubhuya. Because too much. If in Manushaloka itself there is so much to do, no? After retirement, people are confused. You know why? Because there's so much to do. What will you do first? Please tell me. Which temple you will visit first? Which country you will visit first? You have to order, no? Priority karna hai na? Husband is going to say this, wife is going to say this. And so competition will be there now. We have to do so much, so little time. I wish we had retired a couple of years earlier, Like that they might think. Anyway, so Swargalokam Vishalam there.
921. 921 Bhagavad Gita.
921. 921. Very good. All right. Next mantra. Okay, who is next? Any ideas? Hemalata, very good. Yeah, we'll do that. Tapashraddhe yehi
Tapashraddhe ye
upavasant yehi
yehi
upavasantyaranye
upavasantyaranye
shanta vidvamsaha
shanta vidvamsaha
bhaikshacharyam charantaha
bhaikshacharyam charantaha
suryadvarena te virajah prayanti
suryadvarena te viraja prayanti
Yatra mrita saha
यत्रामृतः स पुरुषः
purusho hyavyayatma.
पुरुषो हव्ययात्मः
Yeah, once again slowly. Tapashraddhe ye hyupavasantyaranye.
तपश्रद्धे ये ह्युपवसन्त्यरण्ये
Good. Shanta vidvamso bhaikshacharyam charantaha.
शान्ता विद्वांसो सह भैक्ष्यचर्यां चरन्तः
Suryadvarena te virajah prayanti.
सूर्यद्वारेण ते विरजाः प्रयान्ति
Yatramritas sapurusho hyavyayatma.
यत्रामृतः स पुरुषो व्ययात्मा
Yeah.
धन्यवाद
So, continuing the critique of Vaidika karma. Critique of karma, all right. But Vedic society, Vaidika karma is the central. When they say karma, it is Vaidika karma. So very interesting. Vedas says you must do all this, and at the same Vedas says you must not do all this also. Means Vedas says you must do all this. The same Vedas says this is not an end in itself. You have to get Chitta Shuddhi, and then you got to move on to Upanishads. Karma is meant to make us mature. That's what same Veda says. That's why it's very balanced. All right. So here, so far this Vedika karma was talked about. Here Upasanam is talked about. What is Upasanam? Saguna Brahma Dhyanam. Dhyanam. The Dhyanam that we are doing, that is what is being talked about here. If karma cannot get me what I want, can Dhyanam get me the means? Get me what I want? Then Dhyanam give me moksha. This one is saying Dhyanam also is in the same category of karma. Dhyanam is also an action, and therefore it is as good as an action. It's powerful. Dhyanam is very powerful. It can get lot of punyam. Nothing can get punyam like Dhyanam, Upasanam. But that also will give me punyam, and that punyam also has to get exhausted. If it has to get exhausted, I must be born again to exhaust it. That is the essence of this mantra also. Okay. So, a lot of words are being used. Paikshacharyam charantaha vidvamsaha. So our culture was like that. You can see how much people knew. They knew Upasana was important, Dhyanam was important. So they used to they dedicate their lives. He's talking about people who have dedicated their lives to do Upasanam, Saguna Brahma Upasanam. Look at this. Aranye. Aranye means in the forest. They leave everything and go to the forest and do Dhyanam. That's what this mantra is talking about. Paikshacharyam charantaha. They give up everything and they said we will eat whatever we get. If you go knock on somebody's door, we'll get something. This is the idea. Bhaikshyacharyam charantaha. Then what happens? They get some benefit. Surya dvarena te virajaha prayanti yatra mritassa purusho havyayatma. They go to places which you can't imagine. Highest places they will go to. Brahmaloka also they can go to. Like that, this mantra is talking. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's read the Bhaashyam.